Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. On Monday, I made a video talking about the FH5 Update 5 and the 9 new vehicles coming to Forza Horizon 5 next month. Spoiler alert, if you missed that video, you should definitely go check it out. There is some really cool stuff coming. However, one of the things I didn't mention in Monday's video was the developers saying this.
Horizon open filters, yes, no.
All we can say is,
Yeah.
stay tuned for Series 6.
Ah,
Wink,
okay.
wink.
So yes, it finally looks like we're going to be getting some filters for online racing come next month, so we're going to be able to choose what we want to race when we want to race it. And that got me thinking, what are 10 features that we could use most in Forza Horizon 5? And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Also, massive thank you to each and every one of you who came out to my Twitch live stream the other day when we came up with all of these ideas together. This list wouldn't have been possible without each and every one of you. Side note, if there's anything I don't mention in today's video that you guys want to see added into Forza Horizon 5, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll make a part 2 of this video in the future. So without further ado, let's get into the 10 things we want to see most in Forza Horizon 5. And let's start it off with that first one. Selectable filters for online racing. Right now in Forza Horizon 5, when you go to join an online race, it's totally random as to what you're gonna be racing. Filters to choose the class and the discipline of your racing would be huge and something that we're definitely missing in Forza Horizon 5 right now, so it's great to hear the developers are actually working on it. Kind of leading off of that point to number 2 is online ranked racing for Forza Horizon 5, and kind of skill-based matchmaking. If you've played enough Forza Horizon 5, you've probably had this experience as well, where you can jump into a lobby and absolutely annihilate everybody who you're racing against and nearly DNF everybody in the lobby, and then you can jump into the next lobby and you yourself get absolutely destroyed and come dead last. That's because there's no skill-based matchmaking, and you're kind of just going up against whoever's racing online, and it gives you some mixed results. Not to mention the fact that ranked multiplayer gives a sense of progression for people who want to get better and keep them coming back to keep honing their skills to get their rank higher and higher. Obviously, there's some complicated math that needs to go on behind the scenes for a system like this to be implemented, but it doesn't really need to be overly complex, if I'm honest. Again, sort of kind of leading off that idea for number 3, how about the idea of leaderboard breakdowns? Say you head into Rivals and you go onto a specific track in A class. I would be interested in seeing how the fastest person did with all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. The same can go for any of the PR stunts scattered around the map as well. Imagine being able to see the best drift score down the volcano in all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive, even versus front-wheel drive. I feel like that would add a whole nother element to things. I would imagine for a system like this to be implemented, all of the leaderboards would need to be wiped, but let's be honest, I don't think people really have a problem with that when the leaderboards look like this. Yeah. Moving along to number 4, and I promise this is the last online feature request. How about the ability to spectate other racers as they race? FM7 has a very good system for spectating. Why not bring it over to Horizon? I don't know if it's just me, but I would find it super useful and entertaining to be able to watch what some of the super fast racers do when they're actually racing, from modulating the gas and the brake to how they're steering into corners, what their racing line is like, and then being able to jump from player to player throughout a lobby to see the race unfold would be super cool, and something we've never been able to do in a Horizon game. I would love spectate mode. All right, moving along to number 5, and no more online. What about we bring something back from Forza Horizon 4 with a little bit of a twist? Whatever happened to the businesses in FH5? I don't know if it's just me, but I loved missions like the world's fastest rental car, Aisha's taxis, and even all of the delivery missions. I just found them super fun, and they gave players credits every single day, which I know some of you guys have mentioned you wanted. What if we made these businesses a little bit spicy though, and had some of these characters call you on your cell phone and tie them into the world events that are going on in the world of FH5? What if you had to, say, jump in a pickup truck and deliver some stuff over to the stunt park, or jump in a Gymkhana car and pull off a sweet skid so one of the characters could take a photo of you for a PR shot to promote the stunt part. That would be really cool. I feel like little things like that add to the feeling of the game being actually alive, and FH5 could definitely use some of those. Moving away from the businesses to number 6, let's talk customization. Obviously, there's a ton we could talk about here, so let's talk about some key areas where I think FH5 could improve. Right off the bat, I feel like we could all benefit more from some more convertibles and some more vehicles with race mode. I feel like pre-launch for FH5, both the race modes and convertibles were hyped up like crazy, and then when the game came out, it was like, oh, there's only one race mode car, and there's only like 3 convertibles? I think we could do with some more, for sure. I feel like players would also benefit from being able to put stickers on their windows. This is something we've been asking for forever. Other games have done it, like Need for Speed and Gran Turismo 7, which comes out on Friday. I would love to see some other things like paintable roll cages or custom Forza Arrow, again, like Gran Turismo 7 has. I would also love to see some Baja suspension. I know we've got rally suspension, but Baja suspension could be one level higher, especially with the game taking place in Mexico. I feel like that would be really cool. The last thing I'll say for customization is I would love to see brands like Rocket Bunny come back for Forza Horizon 5. Obviously, this is a licensing thing and kind of out of Forza's control. Rocket Bunny, please do what you can. Come back to the game. I would love to toss some of your kits on some of my cars. Kind of bouncing off that idea of customization to number 7, I would love to see painting in FH5 become a little bit easier. The paint booth hasn't really changed in many years, and I think it's in need of some much needed love. I'm not gonna get into everything that's been going on recently with paint import tools. I would love to see paint import tools come to FH5. That would be awesome. I think everybody would benefit though from painting just being a little bit easier. There's very few people who would want to spend hour after hour, day after day, sometimes even week after week painting a vehicle. I feel like FH5 could definitely do with some improved tools to make painting a little bit easier. If that's a paint import tool, I'm not really sure. I would like to see it a little bit easier though. Speaking of making things a little bit easier, over to number 8 and the EVENTLAB. The developers have actually already confirmed that they're going to be updating the EVENTLAB with new props every so often, and even new rules as time goes on, so you can add some new rules to your game. However, there are some additions for the EVENTLAB that I haven't actually seen the developers address just yet. For example, snapping. That's something I've been asking for a very long time. I would love to see snapping props to each other come to the game. The same thing for a free cam, so you could finally fly your camera as high as you possibly could. I would also love to see the addition of grouping props together. Say you made a nice section on one of your circuits, you could group that entire section together, copy it and paste it somewhere else in your circuit. That would be awesome. I would also love to see custom starting locations for your EVENTLAB creations. I know this can sometimes create some issues with the actual grid, but being able to place custom grid boxes would also be pretty cool. Side note, instead of just making custom races, I'd love to also see custom drift circuits where you could actually place like a start point and a finish point, and people could go and get a certain drift score in there. That would be really fun. Double side note, I would love to see some more restrictions come to the EVENTLAB and races as a whole. It'd be really cool to set restrictions for things like horsepower. Say your car has to be between 400 and 500 horsepower, or everybody in the race must be rear-wheel drive, or everybody must be using said tire compound. That would be really awesome as well. Forza Motorsport 7 actually gives us some of these features. It would be awesome to see them carried over to Horizon 5 as well. Speaking of things transferring over from other games to number 9, what about more mini games in Forza Horizon 5? Things like Cat and Mouse from Forza Horizon 1 were so much fun back in the day. That in FH5 would be super interesting. Or what about bigger mini games like car soccer? I'm just saying that was a thing back in Forza Motorsport 4. They had an entire event in FH5 called the World Cup, and there was no mention of car soccer at all. I get it, it's kind of a bigger thing to implement, but that would be so much fun. And last but not least, one of the final things that you guys wanted to see in the game for number 10 was houses and garage improvements in FH5. ever since houses were first introduced, they haven't been updated very much. I'm not even talking about being able to walk around your house or being able to walk around your garage, but just how cool would it be to just get some simple cutscenes or simple panning images of the interiors of some of your houses, or seeing what the garages are like in some of these houses. I feel like it'd be pretty cool. So there you go. Those are the 10 things we want to see most in Forza Horizon 5, except it isn't, because there's one more. One more, far more important than any other. Can we get online to work in a more stable fashion? That would be great. Let me know what you guys think of this list in the comments down below. Subscribe for more FH5 gameplay. I'll see you guys soon with some more. See you soon. Bye.